what's up everybody? We're back again for another trade review. Well, day review, I guess. Let me focus on this one right here. All right, so it is day 4 of the TTrades 2-hour challenge. Started on Monday. It is now Thursday. And we had an interesting day, an insightful day, I think. And we'll start it with the daily chart. So let's look at the daily. All right. Everyone knows that we are bullish on the index futures. There's a couple levels marked out here. And first off, previous day low, I don't think it's a target, right? But I have it on there just in case. The new week opening gap there, the 1 week fair value gap that we dipped into last week. And we've continued our expansion this week, starting on Wednesday. And it bled into today a little bit, but today was a little different. So as you can see, Wednesday's candle, we took and closed above previous day high. We actually swept up this low resistance liquidity on the daily, right? This included all-time high right here. Took that all, closed above it on Wednesday. So what is first target? The next day when we close above this, it is going to be previous day high. So I knew that heading into the day. However, when I woke up, this is what I see. Let's drop to the hourly. And we had this, so here was Wednesday. We finish up here, right? Come into overnight and Thursday action, and we have some consolidation. And we have a little dip here. And before, remember, according to what I'm going to do for this challenge, I'm not going to trade until after 9:30. So we had already started this. Let's drop to the 15. Makes it a little easier to see. We had already started this move up. All right. One thing I missed. So the rules that I put in place aren't super specific on like when the setup is. I'm more concerned with the entry. Oh, there goes my dog again. 1 second, everybody. Let me put him outside real quick. Go outside. You're not taking your toy out. No, go. All right, apologize for that again. Every night, man. As soon as I start talking on here, my dog thinks it's playtime. I'll play with him after. All right, so we had this dip down, consolidation, dip down, and I'm actually going to turn off the kill zones because it's not really that important. All right. We had a target of previous day high. We had accumulation, right? We have the A. We have the manipulation. Basically this. Obviously, it's a little subjective, right? And then we have our distribution. And this is the guidelines of it, right? So we have our A, our M, and our D. Now, let's make this a little bigger, huh? A. Let me save these templates so I can reuse them. M, What'd I do? 20. What did I do on this one? 24? 28. Getting crazy. All right. 28. Save as M. Templates are the best on TradingView, guys. If you don't do it, you should. D, right? So, starting out, my initial thought, I was reading it wrong, was that we had a little manipulation up, but obviously not. I mean, I don't know where I was seeing that at. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? That's our power of 3. So that's what we had this morning. And it had already taken off. So I'm doing 5-minute change and stay deliveries. So by the time 9:30 opened, we'd already gotten above entry there. And what I should have done is just said, hey, if it comes back and gets me in, then great. I saw this volume imbalance here on the 5-minute. It's in the order block. This is a little bit of a sort of kind of a unicorn, right? It's a little sloppy, a little choppy, but it works, right? We could do this, but you guys get the picture, right? So after watching the day play out, I actually ended up taking a little bit of a short attempt, and I'll show you where that came from. So after this, my cutoff time is noon for this challenge. So right before noon, and I mean, it's not the best looking thing, but we had this strong downward candle that was put in right here. That's 1125. This was from a liquidity sweeping, like a re-sweeping up close candle. So rules are rules a little bit. I didn't love it, but I decided to go for it. I thought we were potentially done with upside for the day and wanted to see if it could push down for a little bit of a retracement, right? Like a lunch retracement. And you see in your kill zones here, this is the start of lunch here. So I thought it could push down and just take something and leave me in. Now, as you can see, it actually lunch kicked off and knocked me out. I actually had a bug in Top Step X where it didn't actually update my stop. So there's some default $100, $200 stop and take profit that I have. And the $100 left me like up here somewhere. I dragged it down, but it didn't register. So it actually didn't stop me out here. And I went for a run. I set my trade, set it and forget it, which is sort of the idea of the challenge. You set your stop, you set your limit, you can walk away, right? Now, I do still watch the price action a little bit and try to journal how I feel and all that stuff. But I want to go for a run, so I went for a run. I came back to my plan that I laid out being stopped out, but I was actually in profit. It was down here somewhere. I was like, oh shit. It didn't trigger for some reason. I actually reached out to Top Step and was talking to them about it. In the meantime, I want to call that a loss because it didn't work, right? Like my plan didn't work. So I closed the trade for a little bit of a win, but for me, for the challenge, that would be an L because I did lose that trade. I'm considering rethinking, my kill zones that I usually go with are from an old ICT video, core content, and it's not exactly what TTrades has on his thing. So TTrades has his at, I think, 8:30 to 11 as his New York AM kill zone, which I understand because you got 8:30 news a lot of times. You want to get in if you got a strong manipulation leg on an 8:30 news drop or something, and you know, you can expect some kind of distribution. You want to be able to get in before 9:30 because sometimes 9:30 just takes off, right? So I'm considering maybe should I stick with my kill zone how I usually do it, or should I go with TTrades kill zones? I don't know. I'm gonna stick with mine for now, but I'm considering it. Usually, I mean, almost all the time when I'm entering something at like 11:30, something like that, I'm like, oh, this seems bad. Like, it almost always seems sort of bad, right? Unless we're getting some kind of afternoon continuation. It's just pretty bad usually. So yeah, I'll consider changing that. Anyway, this was a loss today, but there were some really good insights that I found while talking to some of the guys on Discord. And one of the big insights that I thought was really cool, you know, I'm used to projecting manipulation, right? So if you project manipulation from today, you could say that the last swing on like the 5 minute, which is what we're on, is this, right? This is the final swing down. And then if you manipulate, or sorry, it's this one. If you project from that last manipulation swing high, swing low. This is technically a swing low as well, right? But yeah, I mean, you can really use either of those, I guess. You see that the -4 is right about where we stopped. So pretty cool. One of the insights I found today, really cool, is if you drop to the 15, so 5 minute is usually what I'm doing, but if you go to the 15, you do the manipulation, the last manipulation swing there, the 2.5 aligning with the 4 and 4.5, the 2 to 2.5 sort of aligning with those levels is a really good indication that that's gonna be what happens, right? So if we change our oh shoot, I changed the 15-minute one. There's the 15-minute, there's the 5 minute. Where was that other swing I was talking about? That's the swing I want to use. That's the swing I want to use. We also got that one. But that was one of the insights that some of the guys were talking about in Discord. Pretty cool when you have the overlapping 2.5 on the higher time frame overlaps with the 4 on the lower time frame. 15-minute and 5-minute is what you really want to go for on that one. And then another insight that I never, I might have seen this before, but I never paid much attention to it. And, you know, projections are something that's very new to me. I'm really trying to incorporate it with my trading because it can be very powerful, but you got to be smart about it. You got to really know what you're doing because you can really fuck it up. But the last swing in this accumulation right here, the highest swing, this is on the 15-minute, right? You can project -2, -2.5 for the manipulation leg, right? So that lines up. And then you can do the same little exercise here with the 5 minute. And you see how the 4.5 aligns with the 2.5. You get the same kind of target, right? This isn't perfect. This isn't an exact science, I don't think. Maybe it is. I'm new at it in either way, so but it can give you an area to shoot for, right? It can give you an idea of what you want to look for maybe a target, maybe the -2 for your target here on a 15-minute projection, and then maybe a -4 on a 5-minute projection. Obviously, you got to be smart, manage your trade along the way, but it can give you a little tip, right? So that was a cool little insight that I learned today while talking with some of the guys on Discord. So I'm going to start incorporating 15-minute a little bit more, especially when we're talking about projections. I'm going to start incorporating it a little bit more. But this was a clear accumulation, manipulation, distribution to the daily objective, previous day high, morning. So it's cool to see. Got to get better at identifying that earlier on. You know, if you're here 8:15, you're thinking, okay, we got news drop. You know, I got to get to a point where this is just super obvious, right? We're in a bullish market. We have straight up accumulation overnight and a dip down before a news event. I mean, that's got to be obvious to me, right? We get news coming in, does a little resweep kind of action. See, it doesn't take like this, but that's where the projections come in. You say, all right, it's 2.5. You hit those targets, right? That's all we can look for. Then we see we're on a 15-minute, right? So this is actually a 15-minute change of state delivery here. If we want to look at the bodies, I haven't even looked at this yet, so let's see if this actually works out. I don't think it does. I don't think it comes down all the way that far. Oh, it does. Look at that. That was 9:30 open, right? So it comes back into that order block. A couple other ways to look at it here. The 5-minute, we have this low resistance liquidity here. Sweeping that up, and it's in volume imbalance, right? If I can grab this sucker. There's the volume imbalance, and that is to the tick. That's insane. I should do that though. But it's to the tick, fills that up. So that's obviously was coming back to it was coming back to fill that up. And if you look at the 1 minute before market open, we're building all this low resistance liquidity, right? Sweeps a little bit, feigns a move, comes back, fills that volume imbalance from the 5-minute, sweeps up all this low resistance liquidity. We got a volume balance even on the 1 minute. And look at the bodies on that. This is all new shit. I didn't even see this. So we're talking about 1781250. So I'm gonna say the close of that is probably right on it, right? 1781250. Open of that is 1781250. So bodies respected that volume imbalance perfectly. Came down and filled this volume imbalance perfectly. It's crazy, man. Some days are just super precise, and it's really cool to see. But yeah, I should have done better and got in this trade. I thought it had already got past me, so I did an attempt to get in. But that was the trade of the day, you know. If you kill the replay, as you can see from there, it easily took previous day high. And if you're playing a 5-minute change in state of delivery here, right? This is your order block, and this is my preferred entry. Obviously, you can be a lot more precise than I am. And if you're playing this, your entry's there. Your stop will have to be way down here. I mean, it's a big stop. You're playing it to previous day high. I mean, that's a 2.87 R trade. That's big. It's a big time trade. That goes from 813.75 to 875.50. It's a big trade. Do that once a day. I mean, you don't need it once a day, but you get the picture. So a great learning day, not a great execution day, but that's okay. That shit's gonna happen, right? So that was day 4. Looking forward to Friday. Now, what we're gonna look for initially Friday, tomorrow, which we're already trading in. You see the daily made this little doji, made this sweep the previous day high. We're going to go ahead and put that there because we are on previous day high. We can delete this shit. It's no longer relevant. So I would expect a little bit of a retrace. And if we're talking about TGIF or whatever, I don't know if it's really applicable for tomorrow, but that would be your levels, 20-30% to come back on. What I'd like to see is overnight for it to pump up a little bit. Hopefully come in with some manipulation to the upside so that we can play a little downward move, possibly to previous day low. So that's what we'll be looking at. Hope everyone had a great day, and look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. All right. Goodbye.